Sometimes you have to trust God to do things for you that only He can do. So whatever His promises are to hit you, whatever you're trusting Him for, today I encourage you, depend on God to do what only He can do in your life. And that is just empty words unless you actually put it into action. Unless you actually say, okay, I'm going to trust God to do something for me that I can't do for myself. The first kind of passage you want to look at is 1 Chronicles chapter 5. And here's where the messianic hope is being built in these first 5 chapters of really hard to read genealogies. Right? You can get lost in them. But as you're in the first 5 chapters, you're reading all these names and all these things, we read this, that the descendants of Judah became the most powerful tribe. Who's Judah? Judah is David's family, right? That's his family is in the tribe of Judah, but also the Messiah comes through the tribe of Judah. And that Judah has provided a ruler for the nation, meaning David at this time. But the birthright belonged to Joseph, and you don't really have to dive into that birthright part. We can talk about that another time. But David and Judah are just emphasized over and over and over again in these first 5 chapters. Why? Because the people of God are coming back. They're trying to put their lives back together again. And God is letting them know, my promises have not failed. I know you got carried off into exile. I know everything went haywire. And I know now that you're coming back, the temple and all Jerusalem, it's in ruins. It doesn't look like it should. Even when you try to put it back together again, it's not really looking like it should. But I'm telling you, my promises are true. A Messiah is coming. David's family tree will produce a Messiah. The tribe of Judah will produce a Messiah. I know you can't see it now, but keep your hope in God to act because His word cannot fail. He will not fail. It's just driven home through these genealogies. David, Judah, the Messiah is coming. So, wherever you find yourself in life, the way in which the book of 1 Chronicles kind of encourages the people of God to trust in His promises can be really helpful for you and I. What are you trusting God for? Just ask yourself that. What am I trusting God for? Are you trusting God for something? Are there things in your life that you're longing for? For your family? For a career? For your marriage? For your children? For your friends? Are you actively trusting God for those things? What do you do when the things that you're trusting God for look like they are 1,000,000 miles away? In other words, I don't see how this is going to happen or when this is going to happen. The people of God, as they returned to Jerusalem from exile, 70 years they'd been gone, everything God was promising to them looked like it was. How? How is everything going to become glorious again? How's everything going to be so great again? When is this Messiah coming? I don't see Him. We don't recognize Him here. The temple was pathetic. Nothing was as they had hoped for when they returned. But the important thing is, God was not done. God said, I promise you this is going to happen. And one of the most significant lessons that we could learn from them is that sometimes there are things that only God can do and only God can make happen in our lives, and we have to trust Him to do that. They had no ability to cause the Messiah to come, right? God had to send the Messiah. That's not something they could do for themselves. There are times in our lives where we have a part, and God says, I want you to do your part. But there's other times in life where God says, I just want you to trust me to do it. Trust me to make it happen. I will do it. I will come through for you. Sometimes you have to trust God to do things for you that only He can do. So whatever his promises are to hit you, whatever you're trusting him for, today I encourage you, depend on God to do what only he can do in your life. And that is just empty words unless you actually put it into action. Unless you actually say, okay, I'm going to trust God to do something for me that I can't do for myself.